Hello. Okay, so I'm back. Um, Today I wanted to share, I guess a little bit about, I guess my perception about like friends. So I go through moments where I call it cocooning, where I go into this like bubble and like I'm focusing on maybe things that I'm really loving or studying, topics that I really like, investing time in that. Um, and it could look in different ways. Like it could be like reading books about the topic I'm really interested in or watching videos about the topics I'm interested in. And so I'm in like study mode. Or sometimes I'm also releasing things like, kind of like the sink. When the sink gets clogged up, I'm trying to clean out the pipe. And so I'm either like releasing emotions, feeling my emotions and letting them go, and then replacing them with like thoughts or beliefs, recreating my belief system and letting go of what doesn't work anymore. And so anyhow, I go through this cocooning phase. In this cocooning phase, I notice that I'm not communicating much with anyone on the outside, like whether it be maybe family or people that I know. And so then when I get out of this cocooning phase, I'm like super elevated. Like I'm really happy. Like I'm happier because I've released all these emotions. I've recalibrated. Um, I've let go of limiting beliefs and I've adopted new ones that are more beneficial to me and of service to me. And so then I get out of this bubble and I'm like vibing really high and I'm happy and I'm joyful and I'm like, I really want to talk to somebody. I want to share this joy. And I want to share, I don't know, I'm just really excited. I just want to either hear about what the other person is excited about in their life, or I want to also share the things that I'm excited about or looking forward to, or things that maybe the gems that I've gained from the past few, whatever was going on in my cocooning. And so then I realized, okay, I'm going to try to communicate with somebody, and then I'll like message somebody or I'll try to call somebody and they're not available for some reason or they don't answer. And so then what I've been doing is like pretending that someone was available, and then asking myself, okay, if someone was available, what would that look like? What would the conversation look like with them? What would I want to talk to that person about? What kind of energy would I like that person to have if I could communicate with them? And then give myself the benefit of having that conversation, even if it isn't imaginary. And so I'll sit there, maybe outside. I'll go outside for a few minutes, and I'll just sit there. I only did this once, so I did this yesterday, and sit there and just imagine like, what would that be like? Okay, like I don't know who the person will be, but let's say I called the person and we were talking. What would I talk to them about? What would I share about? That way, I don't have it inside me like contracted, and you don't have this information just sitting there. You can still imagine. You still get the same benefit imagining what you want. The same thing, the same energy of imagining what you want is literally the same as if you would actually have done it in real life. Like it's the same energy. Both serve to help you feel better, to make you feel happy. And so I did that, and I realized that, oh my gosh, I go through these cocooning moments so that when I get out of these cocoonings, like a butterfly, what is a butterfly? What does a caterpillar do? It sheds. What does a snake do? It sheds. What does a bug do? It sheds. Okay, so I also shed old beliefs, maybe even wounds that don't serve me no more, wounds that I keep remembering, like healing, like letting go of those, the past memories, and re-narrating, my past or memories or whatever it may be. And then I've elevated. So when you shed all these things, or when I shed all these things, now I'm vibing so high. Like I'm so happy. I feel free. I feel excited. I feel exhilarated. And like I just want to share with somebody, like who can I call so that I can talk about these happy, just not necessarily share my happy things, but like I'm in a position where I just want to listen to someone else and like what are they going through that is exciting for them. And then I realized, like, oh man, I communicated with, I try to call this person or I try to message this person and they're not calling back or they're not messaging me back. And it's like, So instead, this time I was curious. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe we're not matching energy and maybe that's why they're not responding. And so funny. I waited about about an hour or so. I decided, I still felt good, and I decided to listen to music while I cleaned in the kitchen and started like cooking or cleaning and cooking, and I get a message from somebody. And then 30 minutes later, I get a message from another person that I usually don't communicate with on a regular basis. And it was like, wow, these two people must have been vibing somewhere in the vicinity of what I was already vibing, the energy that I already was emitting. And so then I understood myself better. I get it now. Like, I think I know how to now hone this and how to use this to my benefit. So I think the key is to really knowing and understanding yourself and where you are in your journey and where you are in your growth. And so I understood that I have moments where I'm more reflective. I'm not like wanting to I don't even feel like talking much. And I love, there was a time when I thought I loved to talk a lot. And now I'm getting like quieter, more reflective. And then there's times where, just like yesterday, where I'm like, man, I really want to talk to somebody. Who do I call? And I don't know. I thought it was really exciting to experience that and be in experience this new leveling up, like in a video game, like when you play Mario Brothers or you play a video game and then you go to the next stage or the next level. And I think that happens is like when you shed and you let go, you level up and you're in a new energy, you're vibing a new energy. And so what was before, the things you let go of before don't match you anymore. So now you have an opportunity to connect or make new friends or make new connections. And or even if it's not a friend that you're going to call every day or maybe it's just somebody you just happen to just talk to once that month and you just vibe the same. And it was just like an aligning activity. So then basically, then you get to have an aligning moment, like where you elevate together, and now you're both talking and you're sharing your joyful stuff, and or even maybe you have an opportunity to where you need just like a safe space where you can listen to that person. Maybe they need to really unbox and hear themselves. Maybe they're going through something and they needed just somebody that can be present for them and that they can be heard, and that's what they needed. So I love the idea of communicating with somebody and sharing your happy things, exciting things you're looking forward to, things that are making you happy, things that you're really loving in the moment or loving lately. And then if you each want to communicate to the other, like, hey, I'm kind of going through something, or I'm so confused about this thing I'm going through. Can you be present for me? Can you be can you provide a safe space for me where I can share with you? And the listener then becomes a person who then is very present, very just listening. You're not giving advice. You're not there to just, not yet at least. You're not there to just say anything. You're hearing them out so that person that's speaking can hear you. Sorry, they can hear themselves. Sorry. So that person who's speaking can hear themselves. And even sometimes in sharing like that, you, the talker, the speaker, can then recognize some element of what you went through that you needed to hear or that you didn't realize, or maybe that's how you get epiphanies. And it was all because you had that safe space with somebody that can really hear you out and just provide that just those few moments where to be there for somebody. And you don't necessarily have to say the right things. You don't have to necessarily give them advice. You could even ask, like, would you like, I have some thoughts. Would you like to hear them? Or I would like to give you, would you like some advice? If not, because some people, you may not be ready for advice. You just want to be heard. It's because maybe you already kind of, sometimes you kind of know what you need to do. And you just need to hear yourself. But it's so powerful when you tell somebody, especially someone you trust and someone that can provide that space for you. So that's what I learned about myself. So for those of you who know me, that's what I go through. I go through moments where I just don't want to talk to anybody, and so I won't reach out. Well, that, and also maybe I may not have a habit of reaching out or calling. But that's what I learned about myself. And I love this. I love learning about myself. And I think that's part of our journey, each of us, is learning about yourself. Because I think that the more you learn about yourself, the more you could actually understand yourself. And then you can actually understand other people. Because we're not that different. We're all humans. And we're all pretty much going through similar things. Maybe we don't perceive the same way, but we feel pretty much similarly. And probably have similar thoughts. And so if it's worth it. It's worth kind of getting to know yourself better, reflecting and asking yourself really profound questions so that you can get a good grip on who you are and who you want to be. And the journey just becomes so much more exhilarating and exciting that way, because then you can clarify your goals and you can hone your focus, and it just gets exciting that way. I feel life gets exciting that way. So yeah, there you go. I hope you gain something from this. If anything, I gain something from this, and that's why I'm doing this. Actually, I notice that sometimes I have like profound thoughts, at least I think they're profound to me, and I'll share them with myself. But if I actually have a moment to sit down and do this and like record myself, I kind of feel like I'm talking, to myself more than anything. I will say, like, the idea of being recorded is really distracting. I even try to like put the camera so that I can't see myself, because I feel like seeing myself distracts me. But you know what? I gotta challenge myself even in those moments, because maybe this will be normal one day. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to this, but I feel like I talk better when I know I'm not being recorded. But I'm doing my best. So that's what I wanted to share. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I don't know. If anything, I hope that I get better at being more, just being able to, I guess I want to practice more. I want to be able to practice what saying out here, what goes on in here. And I'm already talking a lot by myself. So, and what's one more step? Recording myself, right? And then what's even cooler is if we have such cool platforms nowadays, you can record yourself, put yourself, online. And then if other people find you, that's kind of cool. Because I wish sometimes that I knew if other people were having thoughts like this and like what they do about it or how they think. I don't know. You feel more connected to people that way. And you feel like you're not alone, and you feel like you're not weird and you're not the odd one out. And so if anything, I gain something from this. And so that's why I'm going to keep doing this. Well, who knows? I might. I don't know if I feel like there's another topic that comes up that I wanted to talk about. So, all right. Well, thanks for listening.